I can guarantee you this is a one-of-a-kind driver and no one else will have this combination in the world. 40,000 views the last video it got, 1,400 likes, which is to date the best video that I've ever had, so I can't thank you guys enough. But today you wanted lighter, you wanted longer. We're going to be hitting a 48-inch ladies flex 5-degree driver. Let's see how it does. So yes, the last video did incredibly well. If you haven't seen it, obviously go and watch that video. Reg Flex driver shaft in a 5-degree head. And it goes to show you don't need technology, you just need to have the right impact factors. And that driver was producing great launch, low spin, and the ball speed was still up in the 180s. Now, unfortunately, it's sad to say that shaft came to its end. After this man, well, he had finished with it. Way forward. Oh, that is, oh, that's gone. That is absolutely huge. That is ridiculous.
381.
381, 192 ball speed, 5 degree. But sadly, after that day, I came and tried to hit that driver again, and it basically met its end. It started cracking around the hosel, and it maybe goes to show that you do need a stiffer shaft at those ball speeds just to purely stay together. So that being said, I have no idea how long this is going to last. I probably should show you the clip from earlier of how I built this, because it wasn't your normal standard build. So this is 5 hours previous, and here is today's challenge: a 48-inch light flex, ladies flex, combo flex shaft build in a 5-degree head in my Brute Golf 2.0. Well, it's been through some better times. Unfortunately, it started to splinter and fracture, but thank you ever so much for all the support in the last video. So let me show you both the heads, let me show you the designs, and let me tell you how I'm going to make this driver combination. So guys, if you didn't see my last video, this is the 5-degree Brute Golf head that I've been using, and we put a Reg Flex cheap Mizuno MX500 shaft in it, and unfortunately, well, it's starting to basically fracture, splinter in the head. After the brutal testing it has been through. So before that basically snaps off in the head and I have to drill it out, we're going to pull this, and we're going to pull it, and we're going to take an equally cheap, equally old driver shaft out of this Ping G15 head that's obviously seen some bit better days, and we're going to take this light flex shaft. Basically, this is Senior's light flex shaft, 45 inches long. And we're going to put it in the Brute Golf head. Now, the thing I am going to do and experiment with today is, because these are only standard length, I'm going to take that shaft out, put it in this driver head. I'm then going to cut this shaft in half. I'm going to plug the top of it, so we'll have a 48-inch shaft. Now, you're going to ask me, Simon, can you really do that? Not really, no, but at the same time, this is an experiment and a YouTube video, and I'm not going to go and play golf with it. Yes, basically I've got a combo Uniflex lady shaft in at this driver, and I've plugged it about 2 and a bit inches at the end here, so it's just slightly shorter than my competitive long drive driver. I didn't want to make it any longer than that because then it's not conforming, so I wanted to make sure that it was definitely legal. You could definitely take this out on the golf course, but more importantly, the longer I make it here, the less likely it's going to break in my hands. Now, Would I ever recommend doing this to your driver? No. Should you always get a driver length cut and made specifically to your height and everything else? Yes. Could I find a lady's shaft at 48 inches for love nor money? No. So I've basically cheated. This is my 48-inch ladies flex driver shaft. It is extremely whippy, it's extremely flexible. However, what numbers will it produce? So I'm going to do less talking and more hitting. Okay, first hit of the day. Gonna warm up because I don't know how much basically treatment this is gonna take before potentially it gets the same fate as the Reg Flex driver. It feels heavy, but only because it's that much longer. I can't really feel like the plug here because obviously I'm such a good club builder, but at the same time, because it's in the grip, I don't think that's gonna affect the overall flex of the shaft. Obviously that's just gonna help club head speed at the end of the day because it's so long. Right, first shot, hopefully the head stays on. Oh, that's fierce. That's piercing, that is. First shot of the day, 3, 3, 4. That's a good flight on it again. Potentially spinning a bit high. That came out heel as well. That's carrying a good 320. Alright, we're getting there. Don't know if you guys can hear that, but all of a sudden I'm starting to think that's splintering inside there. Not sure how many drives I've got left with this. That was just a good solid swing. Like, not the fastest swing in the world, but in terms of just like hitting it out the middle, that just felt nice. Okay, enough playing about with it. I'm gonna hit it. The head comes flying off, the head comes flying off. Go. Go. I think this is the first shaft I've put in this head that spins too much. Which obviously sounds like it should be, but it's 5-degree head and I haven't found one that would do that yet. First of all, this is the first shaft that I've put in this head where it's potentially spun too much. Like, I was catching some really good drives and they were just coming down like a lead balloon. And that's, for me personally, what I see with every standard shaft and driver head combination that comes out on the market. So if you are a player that swings it pretty fast, and I'm talking like 120 plus, definitely look in low flex, i.e. like reg stiff flex, but a low degree head. That's one thing I've learned through my whole long drive process so far, is that spin rate is pretty much down to how lower lofted your driver head is at impact. Now, the shaft itself was launching it super high. Now, I was getting some serious height on it, but the problem is I was getting too much spin. So when I hit some of them, I'm thinking that's going to be huge, but then they just basically stall in the air. And if your driver's ever stalling or your ball's up in the air too long and just basically comes down, it's because your driver, or the ball I should say, is spinning too much. And this is the first shaft that I've put in this head that I felt that. Even with the Reg Flex, it was still spinning at like 1500 to 1000. So if I caught one, it was going to be good. This, the harder I hit it, unfortunately, the shorter it went. Now, I did catch an absolute number slightly out the toe, bullet straight. Couldn't get better numbers than that. 186 ball speed, and it finished at about 375, which is pretty good. And when it comes down to obviously flex and everything else, it's finding a shaft that suits your game. Forget the letters, forget the numbers, forget the torque, everything else. I know I'm in an easier position because I can just take shafts out and put them in and then just test them in here. But hopefully you're learning from this is that forget the technology, forget the marketing. It's basically all down to what lofts at impact, i.e. what are you launching the ball at, what's your ball speed, and then what's your spin rate, and that creates long drives. Now, one thing I should say is this was really tough to hit, i.e. left, right, right, left, like trying to catch this out in the middle and straight was very tough. So there has to be something said about a stiffer, heavier shaft that gives you more control over that head. You know where that head is, because some of them I'm hitting, I'm thinking, oh, that's brilliant. I look at the screen and it's finishing 50 yards right at target. So there's something to be said about having a stiffer shaft that's going to obviously keep your dispersion down. But if you're just looking for raw distance, light and flexible is the way forward with a low degree head. Hopefully you've seen that in the reg flex test. Obviously this is ladies flex. There's no, at least we've gone there. We've gone to the point where this is too flexible. So now to find my optimal shaft for next year, it's going to be around, I think, the stiff mark. So just above reg, it's going to be stiff, 48 inches. And that is going to give me enough forgiveness, as well as dispersion, as well as those low spin numbers, but high launch. And then there's going to be my 400-yard drives, hopefully. Not too bad on the ball speed, 186 today. I've had higher, but I think because it's so high lofted at impact, it doesn't necessarily help compress that golf ball. But 186 is quite good. I'm averaging like 191 at the moment, so it's not too far off, but it's all about spin. Spin is key if you want to make sure those drives are going a long way. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Leave me some suggestions down below what you might want to see in a few new episodes coming up. As always, leave this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.